So, I made a list, and Justice League is lucky number 88. That is how many mainstream live-action superhero movies I have seen. Cue the montage! Wonder Woman, Thor, Ragnarok, Spider-Man, Homecoming, Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2, Logan, Doctor Strange, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Deadpool, Captain America, Civil War, Suicide Squad, X-Men, Apocalypse, Ant-Man, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Bat-Kid Begins, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Fantastic Four, Guardians of the Galaxy, X-Men, Days of Future Past, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, RoboCop, The Wolverine, Thor, The Dark World, Iron Man 3, Kick-Ass 2, Man of Steel, The Avengers, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Dark Knight Rises, Chronicle, Captain America, The First Avenger, The Green Hornet, Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, Green Lantern, Thor, X-Men, First Class, Super, Iron Man 2, Kick-Ass, Watchmen, X-Men Origins, Wolverine, The Spirit, Superhero Movie, The Dark Knight, The Incredible Hulk, Hancock, Hellboy, The Golden Army, Iron Man, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man 3, X-Men, The Last Stand, Zoom, Superman Returns, V for Vendetta, The Legend of Zorro, Sky High, Fantastic Four, Batman Begins, Spider-Man 2, Blade, Trinity, The Punisher, Catwoman, Hellboy, Daredevil, Hulk, X-Men, United, Spider-Man, Blade 2, X-Men, Mystery Men, The Mask of Zorro, Blade, Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, The Mask, The Crow, RoboCop 3, Batman Returns, RoboCop 2, RoboCop, Batman, Superman, A Quest for Peace, Superman 3, Superman 2, Superman, Batman, the movie. I'm rounding up, but here's to the next 100. Justice League. Spring, summer, or fall, there's nothing like superheroes in IMAX. The story follows Wonder Woman and Batman as they gather a league. They recruit Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman. And just in time, Steppenwolf has come to destroy Earth. His army is fierce, but our heroes know he doesn't stand a chance. Hope will have its day. Is it just me, or is it an exceptional time to be a superhero fan? The Lego Batman Movie, Logan, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Wonder Woman, Homecoming, Thor, Ragnarok, ours truly. When you're a fanatic, you watch all of it. My personal exposure has taught me that every symbol means hope. It comes in many shapes and colors. Superhero movies have been a blessing for me. The first movie I ever saw was Batman. I was 2 years old, and it was love at first sight. The character, the genre, movies. I loved it all. In 2008, The Dark Knight inspired me to pursue movie directing. These movies are the reason why I embrace every day, to lose myself in that world, and to one day transport you into the world I call home. I think at their best, these movies remind us why being normal isn't for everyone. Certainly, these movies have not been for everyone. I, for one, am in favor of a big film inspiring a cult following. It's a different kind of special. The kind Zack Snyder has excelled in. For the last decade, he's been a very ambitious filmmaker. I'm a big fan of these. Therefore, I knew I would enjoy this. I will admit, I wanted my hero to direct, but fate had a different plan. That plan included our cast. I would not replace any of them. Same goes for Batman's friend. Pat Hingle was my first Commissioner Gordon. Gary Oldman is my favorite. I now have 3 favorite J.K. Simmons roles. He may not have a lot of screen time, but the trench coat fits. That's also thanks to Michael Wilkinson, Zack Snyder's go-to guy. Realistic is the name of the game, and he won. Snyder won at portraying our heroes in action. Batman's been well taken care of in the past. The Man of Steel has too. Zack Snyder took care of these guys like a champ. Chris Terrio was the first champ. He finished the script in July 2015. The journey forward was no doubt a bitch, but we have a movie. George Miller may be jealous. Mortal was abandoned in 2009. Miller had cast quite the roster. A lot like with Edgar Wright and Ant-Man, I am forever curious about what could have been. Filmmaker aside, whether it's X-Men, The Avengers, The Suicide Squad, Justice League, there's a code for how to do it that, in a way, works like the best of compilation for a band. Give the best of what these characters have to offer, their personality, their one-liners, their abilities, the way the public reacts to them. Beginning with a solo movie does help. Show them before they join the team, working out who they are, what they can do, does that freak them out, and their feelings about responsibility being a hero. Hollywood doesn't always work that way, so adapting is the name of the game. Adapting material for the screen is not easy. Shit is lost in translation. Good shit too. Dawn of Justice was a sort of adaptation of Dark Knight Returns. Justice League is not an adaptation, but reference for a story goes back to 1960. Not every nerd from back then made it this far, but if they had, they could see every character be an inspiration. The Flash's abilities are on display the most. I cannot compare it to this because I don't watch this, but I was very impressed by the execution here. Even more impressive is the sound design. The challenge is crafting a sound for anything that doesn't exist in real life. The best sound sounds natural, authentic to the environment, character, object, or vehicle. Rest assured, we are in good ears. They gave every action scene its weight in epic. My favorite scene has a lot of emotional weight. Cyborg's introduction, an intimate conversation with his dad. Their dynamic is on par with a classic tale. Although in this case, the monster, our hero, is a walking computer. Of our newcomers, he's my second favorite. Number 1. My first exposure to Ezra Miller was Yours Truly. He knows how to leave an impression. Naturally, very funny, and courtesy of the effects people, he moves fast, like this movie. Pretty much my entire life, I thought it was a law that blockbusters had to run longer than 2 hours. Apparently that depends on who the CEO is. Yours Truly mandated this movie run no longer than 2 hours. At 2 hours on the dot, I walked out wishing our friend would have granted us 32 more minutes. If The Dark Knight taught me anything, a lot, for the record, it is that 32 more minutes in the right hands can be a benefit. Yes, that is with credits. But the principle stands, damn it. With Lex Luthor in jail, Steppenwolf is the principal villain. Different kind of opponent. There are those who enjoy making philosophical monologues. Those who favor action. Those who want to destroy. Those who want to prove a point. Those who want to rule. Steppenwolf destroys worlds. His method? Mother boxes. Power with a capital P. As far as comic book villains go, he is not Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. Nor is he Doctor Doom from Fantastic Four. He's bittersweet. And on that note, I have 5 notes for possible improvement. Dude, choppy action. Sadly, that style did not die with these movies. Hollywood, cut for story, not because you're afraid we're bored. The CGI. For a budget of $300 million, it looks less amazing than it should. Of course, when you have a deadline, you make do. Nonetheless, it should be seamless, and often it wasn't. The recruiting scenes. They should have been extraordinary. They can be a lot of fun. But for a movie called Justice League, they were too simple. The reshoots. This movie is not Snyder's complete vision. Producer Charles Roven said that 20% of this movie is thanks to yours truly. He wrote and directed additional scenes and saw the film all the way through post-production. All of his scenes gave me an Avengers vibe. One moment actually felt like it belonged in the movie that would spoof this movie. That was scary. Our villain. The less you know about a villain, the more enticing they are, right? There are exceptions. We are told the cliff notes. Steppenwolf is a worthy opponent on paper, but his name in the movie overshadows his physical presence. The actor who plays him always has a presence, but I don't see him. What I do see is a beast that was made in a computer. In a good way, this universe is a beast. You may not be a fan yourself, but we are the generation witness to what for years was labeled impossible to make. And yet, booyah. Justice League is not my favorite entry in this world, but my collection would not be complete without it. Many thank yous for watching. Stay crazy.